Congresswoman María Salazar joins us from the beautiful state of Florida, plays a key role on a number of key committees that could weigh in on this. Congresswoman, good to see you. First of all, what do you think of this?
Well, I think that it's a little bit too late. And it's the same thing that I've been saying for 2.5 years. The F-16s, why didn't he give them sooner? Or the Javelins, or the Abrams, or a lot of other military equipment that could have been given to Ukrainians, to Zelensky from day one. Weak.
But it didn't stop Ukraine from attacking positions in Russia, right? So where are we on this war right now?
Well, listen, President Trump won the election. The American people spoke loud and clear. That's the American exceptionality, the American electoral system. Trump said that he wants to scale down and that he wants to find a negotiation. And I think
what do you think that would be?
I think that that's exactly, look, there's a new sheriff in town. All these treaties that you can sign, they're as good as the people who signed them. And we know that Putin is not a good guy. So I do believe, because, you know, I'm Cuban American from Miami, my parents are Cuban refugees, and we know how the Russians deal with you, that once Putin understands that Trump is in the White House, things are going to change and they're going to be able to speak, and NATO specifically, and Europe is going to be a lot calmer, because that has been the problem. You know, the Europeans have been very afraid, because first is Ukraine and then after that is Moldova, Turkey, or one of our...
But if there is a way to settle this, that, and Donald Trump at its core is a businessman, a very good businessman, and he would strike a deal that might include Putin keeping some of the lands he's won. Do you agree as that's an adequate way to wrap this up?
Well, we need to see what the Ukrainians are saying. They're going to be sitting at the table, but I do know that Putin is that Trump is going to, like you said, he's going to negotiate the best deal possible. But American people have spoken. We want to scale it back. We have given billions of dollars. We've given all this armament. So now is time to bring peace. And the Ukrainians want that too. I talk to Victoria Sparks all the time, which is the Ukrainian American on the floor. And that's what she wants. She wants to make sure that we end this with the best method possible, or with the best scenario possible.
Congressman, what do you think of the cabinet positions so far from Donald Trump?
Listen, it's the president. He won the popular vote. No one can question what he's doing. The American people...
I didn't ask for that. I mean, just are some a little crazy to you? Are you okay?
Well, you know, crazy...
And you're right. It's his call.
Crazy is a very broad... You can...
your colleague Matt Gaetz for Attorney General.
He was very efficient, and he was very effective in what his plans were. I may not have agreed with him in some. But
that is his call. If he were to lose some of these, it's happened to other presidents. Would it be worrisome for you?
He would have to then negotiate with the Senate. Like you said, Trump is a very effective guy. He is a business guy. He is going to do the art of the possible and try to legislate or to govern with the people that he feels comfortable with.
Yeah. And he could also be sending a message, right, with some of these picks to go back at the institutions he thinks that have failed, right? I mean, what will be the impact then? He assumes office. I don't know if they do this in recess appointments or whatever. That's a Senate call. That isn't a House call. I understand that. But how do you feel if that's the way these are closed?
We do know, Neil, that some of the institutions which are sacred in this country have been penetrated by this left woke, whatever, their own agenda. No one can have a personal agenda. We got to respect the system and the institutions. And we do see that the DOJ specifically, I was out here in that Trump trial that was completely uncalled for. If you're telling me that the banks do not have a qualm with the guy, why do you want to take him to court? Right there, you can see something that you don't want to see in this country. That's Venezuela and Cuba, which is a political agenda. No political agendas from the right or from the left. Let's preserve the system, which is the best one we have. It's not perfect, but listen,
I've seen others. Do you think this will be 4 years of vendetta, going back at these institutions, going back at that? Will that be a theme?
I don't think there is vendetta. I think there's justice coming and cleaning up the house. Look what's happening at the Pentagon. $2.5 trillion that have been misplaced. What? I mean, the Pentagon has failed 7 audits in a row. I mean, that can happen in this country because, you know, the best army is the army that never goes to war. So we all want the same thing. We're all
and
Americans.
what about the border? And you've been you've been looking at this whole issue for a while. Millions of deportations in the works. What do you think of that?
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but this is what I think is going to happen. They're going to concentrate that deportation army on Tren de Aragua. You have right here in Times Square,
right?
Of course. I mean, you have these people are raising havoc. They are in every city in the country.
Go after them first, but what about going after the others?
You go after the criminals first, and then we have a conversation. What are we going to do with those who have been here for 25 years, for 20 years, have American children, do not have a criminal record, are paying taxes, or have a job that no other American wants to do?
Right?
I'm sure they will, and I am going to be one of those voices because I wrote the Dignity Act, because those people are needed in our economy. But I'm not talking about Tren de Aragua or the little Diablitos. You know that there are 500 arrests in Times Square right here close to you. Because of this gang organization. How could you have allowed a transnational criminal organization to get into the border? I mean, to go through the border. Let me tell you, the worst thing that Biden could have made a lot of mistakes, but for the Hispanics, the worst mistake that the Biden administration made was to open that border and leave it open for 4 years. Why? Because you had 10 million people coming in and 2 gotaways, and the important topics, the ones that I'm talking about, the Dreamers, the DACA, the TPS, people who have been here for 25 years that want some type of dignity in the promised land.
So don't kick them. Don't kick them back.
No, wait. That has put aside for 4 years. We could have had that conversation.
And now we have the debate again.
Of course. And why did they miss that wonderful opportunity? The Democrats that supposedly are the defenders of the Dems.
If you can just hear me a second. Don't deport everyone. That's what you're saying. Not yet. Not the 11 to 15 to 20 million who
have been here for more than 5 years. We definitely have to take a look at them and see why are they good in the country.
Understood. All right. María Salazar, a Republican Congresswoman, a beautiful state of Florida. Very good seeing you again.
Wonderful to see you. I'm glad that you're doing well. All right.